the game where you use strategy to get one sequence of 5 tokens to win the game. This is how to play sequence for 3+ players, 3 to 12 players. In this video, we're going to walk you through how to set it up, how to play gameplay, as well as rules and recommendations for you when you're playing with bigger groups. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, now that we have everything out of the box, almost. Okay, the setup for this game is relatively easy. Place the board out like so, flat. You give tokens to 3 people, and if you have more than 3 people, you actually split them up into teams. And I'll explain the rules with teams in just at the end, so bear with me. Shuffle the cards and then place them to the side. Everyone is going to be dealt 7 cards. And the remaining cards go on top of the deck. And then decide who goes first. And this can be random, you can do whatever you want to decide who goes first. So before we get into gameplay, let's talk about your ultimate goal to win. And to win, all you have to do is have 5 tokens in a row. You can go across, down, or even diagonal. If you notice, there are corners. These corner pieces can be used as a free space. So this would be counted as a sequence of 5 because we're using that corner. So let's talk about the actual gameplay and how to get to this point where you have a sequence. Each turn is you place a token and then you draw a new card. Pretty simple. To place a token, you look at your cards. Whatever you have in your hand, you can place a token on. For example, I've got the 6 of diamonds. There's 2 of each kind, so there's a 6 of diamond here and here. So I can choose which 6 of diamond I want to use. You discard that card and then draw a new one. And that's your turn. Pretty easy. As for wild cards, there's 2 different kinds of wild cards. You've got a one-eyed jack and a two-eyed jack. So the one-eyed jack, as you can see, their faces are turned sideways. There's only one. And as mentioned on the side of the board, one-eyed jacks remove. So if you had this card in your hand, you can use it to remove a player's token. If you have a two-eyed jack, you can use it to place a token anywhere you want that's available. Joker cards are a little bit different because there are no jokers on the board, but as you can see, they correlate with these corner pieces. Now, I mentioned earlier, these corner pieces are free, but if you have one of these, you can claim a joker piece by playing it, and now no one else can use that corner, just me. If you have a card in your hand that isn't available on the board, for example, let's say this 8 of spades, for example. There are 2 8s of spades on the board. There's 2 of each card on the board. I have a card and I can't play it. Without worrying about losing a turn, I can switch out this card for a new one, and then I can play the turn as usual. Now, when you're playing with teams, there's some tricky stuff that makes it a little bit more fun. The first one is you can't talk to your teammates. So, for example, you have your cards, and everyone may have their own strategy in their head, but you can't communicate with your teammates what that strategy is. Adds a little bit of challenge to it, but it's also really fun. For example, this jack, you may really want to use it on that queen later, but someone else is like, oh, look, I'll place it on this 10 instead. So you can't talk to your teammates. Makes it a little more challenging, but it's also really fun. As part of that teammate thing though, is you take turns with who gets to play that turn. So if there's 3 people on a turn, then the first person gets to do 1 turn, and the next time it gets to your team's turn, the second person gets to, then the third person, etc. One rule that you really need to pay attention to is if you forget to draw a card, for example, I only have 6 in my hand, too bad. Like if you forgot and the next person has started their turn, you can no longer grab that 7th card and you will never have a full hand again. So be sure that you do grab your cards as you go. Now, as for additional house rules that are kind of fun, one that I like, it's a little bit trickier, but say someone lays down a sequence. The game is over, right? Well, with this house rule, everyone gets one more round. So you get one more chance to remove that piece if you are lucky enough to have a one-eyed jack. I hope this video was helpful for you, and now you know how to play Sequence, so go ahead and get started and play it yourself. If you have recommendations or fun house rules that you'd like to include, please give us a comment and share that with everyone. I'd love to see it, and I'm sure everyone in the community would as well. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I do videos on game strategies, game reviews, as well as how to play, so please subscribe. Thanks again for watching and enjoy playing Sequence.